Hello! So I have a new project that I wanted to start. This is kind of like a pre-video to that or whatever, and I thought I would talk a little bit about it while I place some art of me designing a character, which is for this new project. So this is just going to be me kind of rambling. I wrote down a few bullet points to talk about so I wouldn't forget stuff, but you know, I am a rambler, so if my voice gets annoying and you just want to watch the speed paint, you can mute it. Listen to something else. I won't feel offended. So in the past, I've drawn a couple of short comics, and I kind of want to talk about that today and my reflective thoughts on why I think I am too small-brained to draw comics and what I want this new project to be kind of in replacement to doing that. Because I like, in theory, having the comics done, but as I'm going to talk about it, I feel really limited when I try to do comics. So going back a little bit, I like to tell stories. I like writing, but my writing isn't good, I guess. I've put some stuff out and people have always said it's bad. Not like attacking me, they're just trying to be helpful and offer criticism. I mean, I know I'm bad at spelling and grammar, and I know that's a big part of it, and apparently that's, people just are like, if you can't do that, you shouldn't write. So I've just kind of accepted that. I won't do it. I won't put any writings out and stuff. It takes a practice and skill that I don't really have anyways. I'd have to be a little more dedicated towards it, and I just kind of lost my passion for it. Not like intentionally, but I don't think that a writing community, maybe there's just a little bit of lack of support, or at least I've never found any. And what I mean by support, I don't mean this juvenile idea of support whereas you're like, everything they do, good job, you're doing great. I don't mean like that blanket support. I mean like proper criticism. And I know it takes some training to know how to actually like criticize artworks and presumably literature and stuff. So like what I mean by example, like in art, if I had a painting and I put it up and I got in a group, you don't sit there and you say like, I like this and I don't like this. I mean, you can like superficially kind of talk about that, but the actual criticism is what works, what doesn't work, you know what I mean? So like, oh, the blends of colors or the play of negative space or the scale. And it's not like in a negative way. I hope this makes sense. You're trying to help break down the piece more like analytically based on the elements of art and what presents itself in the piece, good or bad. But with writing communities, I did kind of try to go out of my way and find like places online that might have that. I don't know, maybe I was just really bad at finding a community or anything like that. Anyways, I'm not bashing on anyone. It's fine. That's just my experience, and I probably have a very narrow experience and it's all wrong anyways. So moving on, when it comes to visual storytelling, I feel like I have a little bit more ability in that. I practice drawing and art, and I can draw somewhat on a professional level. I've been hired to do content for things and stuff. So, you know, when I did comics, it's a classic way to do visual art. I thought it would be something that I'd keep going back to and making more comics and stuff. But what I've found is I feel really held back or limited. I'm not really sure how to put it. I feel like you have to take it page by page, and it takes a long time to get through one page. So you don't really have a lot of like, you don't feel like you're progressing very much as you go through like the panels. You feel a little bit more like once you've completed a page, maybe you're progressing and stuff. But a comic page, the setup of it or the way you construct the panels and stuff is really important. It aids in the storytelling and the way the reader consumes the material. It helps with the pacing of the story, helps with, you know, leading the action or whatever. Like anytime there's a scene transition, it sets up the transition to the scene, you know, stuff like that. But for me, I feel really clumsy, I guess is the way to put it. Like, I don't know how to structure the panels, and I don't know how to lay them out to help visually show what I want to say. If I mess up and want to add a panel, it takes a lot of editing. If I want to remove a panel, I feel like I just have this filler panel there. Now I got to figure out what to put in it. I know like traditional comic artists, you know, people who do it through traditional mediums like pencil and pen would have to just redraw the whole page. And since I do digital artwork, I guess I thought in a way it would help me, it'd make it easier to edit and stuff. It's much easier to edit digital art in my opinion, but it's not. And sometimes you do have to like redraw the whole thing or restructure it or get rid of a bunch of stuff. What I find I do is I just whittle down whatever script or story I've written out a lot, and I oversimplify it because I feel like I'm never going to get through it. At some point I'm just like drawing panels to fill in this page, and I don't really like what I'm putting down, but I feel like I need something in this space, or I wish I could fit more in that space, or I feel dumb making a whole page that's a panel like over and over again. So I feel like I have to work on like breaking it up and stuff. So yeah, I feel like I oversimplify it. I feel like it's the only way I'm going to get through to the end. When I do that, I guess I get frustrated with it, I should say, and I lose enjoyment for the project, and then you lose motivation, and then it's really hard to finish it. You just you don't really enjoy it and your work shows that it suffers, you don't really have, you know, all the little care and detail that you normally put in, you're just like, nah, I'm just trying to get it over with. So you just start throwing things on the page and, you know, whatever. I end up making mediocre stuff and I wish it was better at the end. I wish I'd put more time and energy and passion in it. I usually do like it when I finish a comic, but I also feel like the project was just too big for me. I'm just too small brained to make a comic. It's a big brain thing. But I still do want to do visual storytelling. I mean, I want to do storytelling, and obviously my medium for doing that will be visual since I have the art skills and not the writing skills. So after all that rambling, I'll get to the point. I'm going to make a comic of sorts, but I'm going to do it panel by panel. So it's going to be more like a storyboard. I feel like I can break this down to a more manageable level this way, like this project. I can draw one panel a week, and I can make it in a portrait or a landscape mode. And then I can make it a comic by stacking them on top of each other. So it's like a comic strip. I'll probably do it vertically just because of the way, you know, new digital world. That's the way to make them. So yeah, when it comes time, in the end, I can just lay it out in strips of like 4 or 5 panels stacked up on each other. It's not like I planned ever to print a comic, so it doesn't really need to be structured in this old traditional way like it's in a booklet that you flip the pages and stuff. I can just put it however I want on screen. You know, maybe this is a easier way to consume comics in the modern world. Makes it easier because you can, you know, just scroll up and see all the different panels without having to like zoom in or, you know, scroll over and stuff, especially if you're on like a phone, it might be hard. Yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts on that. The benefits seem to address my main problems with the comics. You know, one being you have to figure out how to fit the panels on the page. This just makes it so I can focus on what I want in each panel instead. I can focus also on the panels more, like if I want to put more visual things in, scenery, or if I want to, you know, play around with, you know, character positions and stuff. It's not like I couldn't crop them or change them around and stuff later if I had to. It breaks down the process into a more manageable checklist too. You write out what's going to be in the panels. I think I'll feel like I'm making more progress as I get more and more panels done. Also, if I don't like a panel, it'll be so much easier to redraw it, restructure, whatever. If I want to add stuff in the middle of, you know, what used to be a page, I wanted to add a bunch of new stuff into it. It doesn't matter because they're just panels. I can throw a whole new section in. I can throw new chapter, whatever in. You know, the old way of drawing a comic page, I mean, those things could take like 15, 20 hours each because you're drawing all these little drawings, and then you feel really frustrated in the end that you just kind of scrambled it all just because you wanted the page complete. Or at least, you know, I'm speaking from my own experience. I'm sure other people have, you know, other experiences with it, and I hope that this did not come off that I'm like trashing people who like drawing comics the traditional way. You know, I think it's great, and there's nothing wrong with it. I just want to reiterate, I got the small brain. So it's more of a me problem than anything. But yeah, so for my project, I have a script kind of going. I don't have it fully written out, but I'm gonna start putting some like character designs or just, you know, initial artworks up as ideas for this little mini world. It's not going to be a long script. It's going to be short because, you know, it's kind of a trial phase thing and see what works about this and what doesn't. And when I've got the script all completed and I'm all ready to go, I'll start drawing the panels and I'll start putting them on a week, and I think it'll be fun. And if I change something, I can go back and redraw panels and I won't feel like so frustrated with the editing, I think. And then in the future, I'll post it in the, you know, still image form, and I can still do like, you know, things on my YouTube where I if I can get some voice actors, anyone who wants to just do it as a project, or maybe I'll do the voices if nobody else wants to do it. I'll put it up in a visual form. I can add little animations to it and stuff. I can tweak it, and it'll just be like a storyboard thing instead of a comic thing. And yeah, that's what I want to do. I've decided. I feel the fire of determination. It's gonna happen. Hopefully. So anyways, I feel good about this idea. I'm going to try it out, see where it takes me. And I just guess I thought I'd post this as kind of like a blog or like a, I don't know, just get it out of my system, put it on my YouTube. And I thought I'd have some art going in the background. Hopefully my rambling wasn't too annoying. If you muted me, not that you could hear me anymore, but no hard feelings. I know sometimes people just like to watch the art. That's fine. You can mute me and listen to music if you want to see that instead. But anyways, I feel good about this idea. I'm going to try it out and see where it takes me. In the meantime, thanks for stopping by. I hope you're having a great day. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.